Hello there, and welcome back to Friend Donkey Plays Smackdown Universe Mode.
What is up?
Tell you what's up, Jose. The Liberty Champion, strutting her stuff in the main event.
Yes, yeah. Well, she's not so up after that defeat last week, and as a stipulation of the Liberty Belt, she will be putting it on the line tonight.
Against the person who managed to defeat her. So hell of a main event for the
Indeed,
evening.
look forward to that.
Hell of an opener as well. They opened the show last week in quite a strong style against
Yes,
Imperium, looking to make themselves known. Came up a little bit short on that occasion.
and looking for another showstopper in the opener again.
They certainly got the win this time round against Walla Walla Mizbang.
Walla Walla's bang fall down.
But in a return to our regularly scheduled programming,
Yep, bit of AM PM.
AM versus Pre-M, the male hosts are in singles action this evening.
Yes, we saw a mixed gender tag match the other week in which Chad Gable and Dana Brooke picked up the victory over.
Team AM were able to defeat Team PM.
Indeed. But now just singles competition between the men.
But we've seen Chad Gable be Dana's lucky charm over the most recent weeks when he's in her corner. Can she be the same sort of lucky charm for him?
One would hope. These two have become quite a good little pairing.
They have. They've been holding things down in their own respective divisions.
Yeah, the Chad Gable.
That's the Damian Priest.
He's a long coat.
Bring out the gimp.
As they say, looking like a human condom.
Wearing his bin bag.
Spiked for her displeasure.
Ugh. Damian Priest has been quite dominant as well.
Yeah, he's put on quite a good showing actually. I believe he won his debut. I can't quite remember.
I think he teamed up with Bron Breakker, didn't he, against Randy and Cody. Came up short in the tag match, but you know, looking to get on the same page as Rhea Ripley. Clearly the Chad and the Dana have more chemistry than actual Judgment Day members.
Well, the thing is, they're up early. They're getting things done, and then they've got time to train, whereas Team PM go to bed too late. They're not ready.
They have the Lion.
Yeah. They don't get up and go get it.
Dana Brooke and Logan Paul have been swapping ring attire backstage.
Yep. Team High Vis.
Team High Vis.
Chad Gable looking good in the beginning here.
Yeah, looking for momentum.
The Chad Gable.
Yeah, the Chad Gable. Get it right. Back in the ring now.
Now, the Chad Gable is a strong person in the ring. A little out of sorts this season, but I think Dana might have got him a bit more focused at the moment.
It's enough to make any man focus.
I'm sorry, I lost focus.
Momentum back on his side now. I'm going to put the hurting on Priest.
Yeah, Priest not mustered much of an offense so far. Chad with a lovely leg drag.
Down to the mat, as is his want. Former Olympian Chad Gable, but Priest with the power out.
Former Olympian, a lot of power in Chad Gable, but Damian Priest is a very large man. Very tall, a lot more leverage.
Chad has been a stalwart of Smackdown this season, but Damian Priest looking to mix things up, change the landscape a little bit.
Yeah, Chad Gable unfortunately he's had a few opportunities, just falling short.
Speaking of landscapes changing, we haven't seen last week's show, the landscape changed well and truly at the top of the mountain.
Yes, definitely go back and watch that show. That show was phenomenal.
Yes, as the locker room has been blown wide open, as the unified forces couldn't get it done at War Games. All of a sudden, one man comes in. One man!
One man that was brought in by...
one Scott. Literally, he just came in to SmackDown, just freedom!
If you haven't guessed by now, Drew McIntyre took the World Championship from Gunther.
Just kept up with him and kept the dominance on.
I mean, you've got to imagine that Gunther's kind of regretting his choice to hire McIntyre. Obviously, the stipulations of the hire were that McIntyre would get the world title shot, and he took it. Just as Chad Gable takes this win over Damian Priest in a very good performance.
Convincing performance there for the Chad Gable. And
Indeed.
Momentum still with him as he looks to get back to, or continue his winning ways as Team AM.
Team AM has been a real turnaround for both Chad and Dana.
They've both lit a fire under them, hasn't it?
It certainly has the fire of love.
The average Chad Gable for there. Speaking of the WWE champion,
he's sort of thrown down a gauntlet for the rest of the locker room. Now he isn't signed with Smackdown, and he's sort of come out and said unless Smackdown can show that they have any worthwhile competition, he's going to take the belt and he's going to go back to Raw.
So in an effort to determine whether there are any worthy challengers on SmackDown, you know, as he came in, he'd heard so much about this Gunther and he just beat him with no nonsense.
Indeed.
He said that he'll be in action each week. You know, he's fighting. He's not putting the belt up each week, but for every man that can defeat him en route to the Royal Rumble, he will grant a spot in a match with him where the belt will be on the line.
So we've got, 4 weeks to the Rumble? He could end up in a
fatal the numbers against him. Yeah. I mean, you thought the hubris of Gunther was bad putting his belt on the line. McIntyre really looking to...
I mean, that's ego on a planetary scale, isn't it?
Really is. But again, sniffing an opportunity, the first man to step up to the plate is Cody Rhodes.
Former Intercontinental Champion, lost it recently to Randy Orton. But looking to
his waistline feeling a little bit cold without some gold around his waist.
Yeah, so deciding to try and wrap the world title round there. He's fallen short so far this season in world title picture.
But that world title picture was a very, very different landscape to what it is now.
Certainly was.
We currently don't have a landscape.
No, we have one man with a sword.
One man!
Now, we saw McIntyre last week, as we said, quite an impressive showing against Gunther.
It's the sword that did it.
Yeah. He plunged his sword into the landscape of SmackDown. And
Giggity.
And there he is.
An imposing figure.
Does look good with that belt around his waist.
For Scotland!
Freedom!
Freedom for SmackDown.
Could be freeing SmackDown of the world title if he doesn't find anyone worthy of a challenge. Quite a call for the locker room to step up here and show that SmackDown has got the best to offer.
We really do. We are the number one brand, as it immediately makes the presence felt.
Indeed.
You got to think if you're a champion or former champion, you're probably the hope for SmackDown here.
It has to be said, yeah. It's good to see. So it's going to be good to see who's going to step up to the plate here. Wicked. But Drew looking strong.
We saw his dominant display against Gunther last week.
Yeah, he's not looking to take any sort of nonsense from anyone.
Not taking any crap.
Ooh, strong shoulder tackle there. A vicious beatdown. Cody, much like Gunther last week, hasn't managed to get going in these early stages of the match. And this is very much McIntyre's style.
Who would you say this favours the longer this match goes? Cody or Drew?
Given how much damage Drew is putting out in such a short period of time, I think the longer it goes, the worse it is for Cody.
It's not a bad shout. We haven't really seen Drew go long in a match, really.
That's true, but unless Cody can muster some offense, he's just going to be taking damage.
Just another notch on the belt.
Indeed.
Doom, doom, doom. Another notch on the belt.
And another notch goes, and another notch goes. Another notch on the belt.
Hey,
hey!
I'm gonna get you too. Another notch on the belt.
Drew
McIntyre.
That's Cody now mustering some offense.
Roller Drew McIntyre will be played by Freddie Mercury this evening.
Oh.
Tell you what, so I watched Bohemian Rhapsody over the weekend. You know, tangent here. What a film!
Yeah.
You've not seen it, like
I haven't seen it yet.
You forget how many bangers Queen actually have.
Oh, they were incredible.
Like, We Will Rock You, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, pin here.
This could be the first man added.
Ooh. Quite a, I don't want to say an upset, but I wasn't expecting it.
No, I mean, we underrated him once again. Or underestimated him. Clearly he's got the bit between his teeth. Since his foray into the Intercontinental title scene, we've seen this killer instinct in him.
Indeed, and well, Cody will be added to the match at the Royal Rumble.
Drew will be in action again next week against a new member or new challenger.
Yeah, we will have to wait till next week to find out.
As it stands, the match at the Royal Rumble will be Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. Whether that changes over the next weeks, we do not know.
I mean, if Drew wants to have a chance at retaining that title, he may want to step up his game. Possibly not going into that match fully committed.
I mean, it must be said that was Drew's idea to do that, not the GM's.
No.
It was very much okay, if that's what you want to do, Drew.
I think he underestimated the quality of the Smackdown locker room. After beating Gunther the way he did, I think he got a bit too full of himself.
It'll be interesting to see who steps up to the plate next week.
Indeed, yeah.
Speaking of stepping up to the plate, though, the Women's World Champion, with her eyes set on adding more gold to, well, her shoulder, I suppose.
Yeah, she hasn't got much room around the waist anymore.
No.
Seeing as she did defeat
Bianca Belair last week, Belair looking to put the Liberty title on the line.
It is a stipulation of the Liberty belt that if someone can pin you, you must defend the title.
Yep.
And we've seen Belair in title defenses. She's a different person when it comes to defending this belt.
She really is. She snaps. She's very much like Festus.
As soon as that bell goes.
Or Jekyll and Hyde. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
The two sides of Belair.
As soon as that Liberty title's on the line, Belair, well, she does not want to let it go. She's held that pretty impressively.
In lots of hard-fought matches as well. She defended against Baszler, against Brooke, against Ripley, and now against this woman, Bayley.
She hasn't had a lot of luck against the women's champions. So obviously had a pinfall loss to Lita in a tag match a few weeks ago. Again,
tag match very different to a singles affair. We know what Bianca Belair is like when she's focused on herself. I mean, even her theme tune is saying that she's on her own.
Bayley obviously looking to add more gold to her impressive arsenal.
Now the question is here, if Bayley wins, yes, she takes the Liberty Championship, but what happens if Belair wins here? Yes, she's defended her title, but she will have proved that she can beat the Women's World Champion.
Yeah, and she would have proved she can beat the Women's World Champion when it matters most, when the gold is on the line.
Mm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if she would ask for a title shot after that. I mean, whether Bayley would agree to it or not is another story.
We've seen what Bayley's like when it comes to defending her gold. She can be sportsmanlike about it. She can also be unsportsmanlike about it.
It's about as predictable as the Chad Gable.
The Chad Babel.
Babel. Bianca Belair slinging Bayley to the outside.
As the ref begins to count. 9!
9. There is a sign in the crowd that says 9. Just mocking him.
Stop fucking me.
Belair there with the abdominal stretch.
Just wearing down the champion. Well, they're both champions. We're going to have to...
Yep.
Weird that Bayley is the challenger in this situation.
Yes, yeah. It's an odd position for a world champ to be in.
It's a bizarre situation.
I must admit, the introduction of the Liberty title has definitely spiced up the women's division.
It's made things much more competitive up and down the roster, really.
I mean, the women's division has held Smackdown down for a long time. That was hard.
The men have been alright as well.
Oh yeah, the men have been great. I'm just saying the women's division have carried us for a lot of weeks.
That's a Bayley to belly suplex on Belair there. Could have her rocked.
Belair struggling here by the looks of it. Oh,
but
got
she
that
has
one scouted there.
modified DDT scouted.
Now, Belair would have done her homework on Bayley here. Would have gone back, watched some old matches. Obviously, they fought against each other last week. She should be ready for Bayley tonight.
Very true.
Ooh, not ready enough, perhaps. It's Bayley. Oh, Belair with the kick out. Close.
You know what Belair's like when it comes to clinging on to her Liberty title.
Indeed, she's not going to go down without a fight. Bayley's going to have to pull out all the stops to put her away here. Belair rolls out to get a bit of a breather.
It is champion's advantage for Belair in this match.
Yes, Bayley needs not to forget that. There's a huge crossbody.
But as a champion herself, Bayley knows the ins and outs of defending a title.
Does that give her more of an advantage in this match, or...?
I'd say Bayley has nothing to lose in this match, really, knowing that her world title is not on the line. Belair has everything to lose and potentially everything to gain down the line.
Yeah, I guess Bayley... This is a sort of a win-win for Bayley here. Obviously, a win would be great, but a loss isn't exactly the end of the world. And she's looking strong.
Not surprised you're surprised. She's held it down for the longest time. She looks for the high-risk manoeuvre off the top. Double axe handle.
Perhaps determined to show Belair who the true champion is. Like, yeah, your little toy belt's fun, but it's not the world championship.
She taunts Belair to come up. Belair with it scouted.
Belair now. Looking for... Gutbuster. And a little spank on the bottom.
Oh, tope suicide to the outside.
Almost getting a hair caught in the rope.
That's an interesting strategy, Cotton.
See if it'll pay off. These two now spilling out onto the outside. And a strong showing from both. Very back and forth, this one.
Just demonstrating why they are both champions on the brand and why they are holding it down.
Indeed. Strong suplex. Up to a count of 5 now. I shouldn't imagine Belair would go for a count out victory, but if it does happen, she will retain.
I don't think she'll want to win
the pin
admirably, though.
Yeah. I mean, a pin here, like you alluded to earlier, a pin here is a pin over the champion.
For who? They're both champions.
It's a pin over the world champion. There's too many titles, all right? Is Bailey now to the outside to get a breather?
Both women using their surroundings to their advantage.
Oh.
Just slapping her down.
Unceremonious slap. Belair with a kip up. Big Daddy Claymore.
Clearly there are some Drew McIntyre fans in.
Indeed. Probably weren't expecting the loss.
Her, calling her a loser. That's a bold taunt there from Bailey.
We've got to be getting close to...
count up to 7.
Bailey's going to go in and break up the count. Can't win by count out, Bailey. Surely not.
Can Belair get back to her senses in time as the ref gets to his favourite number?
An odd strategy by Bailey. Belair didn't need to make that 10 count. She would have retained, perhaps relying on the fact that Belair wants to win this legitimately.
Perhaps Bailey thinking that the Liberty Championship is beneath her. If that's the case, then why even go for the match?
Quite possibly.
Belair to the top now. She's looking for the 450.
Oh, tremendous. Straight into the cover. Bailey with a kick out.
Kicking out there.
Neither of these women saying die.
As Belair looks for the KOD, and she hits it.
This could be it. If Belair can get the cover. 450 splash and straight into a KOD. 1, 2, 3.
And
Bianca Belair
still
retains.
Your Liberty Champion.
As I said, when the title's on the line, she's a different person.
Stepping up. Bailey thinking that she had Belair's number, but Belair proving once again never to count her out. You may beat her once, but beating her a second time when it counts is a different beast.
Incredible showing by Belair there. Not only retaining the title, but retaining it with a pinfall victory over the world champion.
And what that does for her standings, we shall find out in coming weeks. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, we'll see you there.
As we know that the one-man Drew McIntyre will be in action next week against who we do not know.
But he will face off against Cody Rhodes at the Rumble.
As it stands. And what's going to come of this, we do not know either, so stay tuned to find out. Catch you soon.
Wait.